you're not on the field, court, or ice, you are on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am. Through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your Washington football team update, and I am your host, CWall. Hey, everybody. Come on, folks. I need you to smile early. Okay? Positive vibes, all good vibes, all good feelings. Why don't you? Okay? And I see, listen, of course, we have a lot to talk about, a ton of things that we must discuss following the Washington football team game, if that's what you would like to call it, against the Dallas Cowboys. Have to talk about that. But before we get into that, you know, there's always some housekeeping items that we have to have done. I see folks are checking in, but to check in, you have to love or like the show so that I know you are here. So that we know that you're here. Make sure you're clicking that love or like button all throughout, you guys. Also, I don't know if it's safe to say Washington football team loving. I don't know what's safe to say right now. It was all good a couple weeks ago, and now it's just not. But if you have some Washington football team watching, family and friends that you think would love to take a part of this discussion, please tag them in now. Please absolutely share this show with them as well so we can have this show as part of the live discussion. You all know that you can always watch the show and you can catch it every Friday as well. One show comes at 1:30, the other at 2 on channel 11 or channel 77 if you're in the Washington metropolitan area. So make sure you're catching it one way or another, and make sure you all are speaking to each other. I see as you all have checked in, I have, of course, seen the CWall family checking in. Joy Butler, you know, Joy is always monitoring the chat and getting all your comments in. I see Kenneth Lash. I see Daniel Creek. I see Terrence Brooks. I see Cameron Mingo, among others that have all checked in for tonight's show. You all know we definitely have to give our time to our sponsors for certain before we jump in to all of the conversation. Lots to discuss, but let's go ahead and start off with our friends at RoofMax. RoofMax adds years of life to your current roof and saves you thousands of dollars, only a fraction the cost of a roof replacement. Minority owned and operated business servicing the DMV. Go to getroofmax.com for a free assessment. So shout out to RoofMax. After we do the next sponsors, be prepared. Just be prepared to share what your one word is. First up, Uplift Property Suite, and then we'll have Modernish. Okay, you all, it's time to get started in the discussion. I give you all some time to get to thinking because you know how this is going to go, or maybe you don't. Maybe you don't, because you never know with me, because you never know with this team. So, first up, we're going to stick with the plan that we always do after a Washington football team game, and that is, what's your one word? What's your one word to describe how you felt after the Washington football team's loss to the Dallas Cowboys? Cameron Mingo says finished. Joy's depressed. Corey's angry. Daryl's disappointed. Lash is embarrassed. Terrence says out coached. Listen, it's a lot of things you can say, but before we get into it, because we got to get into it, we all know that last Thursday, before we get into the game, we definitely want to send our love and prayers and condolences to the family of Olivia Peters, the woman who was in the car with DeShazer Everett late last week. That passed away. So we do want to send our condolences and prayers to Olivia's family. Coach Rivera did share earlier today that DeShazer has been discharged from the hospital. As previously reported, he did sustain some serious injuries, non-life threatening, but definitely want to keep him in our prayers, as well as we know that this is a trying time for him as well. Just a terrible, very sad situation. So many prayers to Olivia's family. I believe they just posted a GoFundMe for her occupational therapy line of work. So if you choose to donate, of course, please do so. But many prayers out to the families of them. Now, going to the game. I don't even know. It's so funny because I had a number of places I wanted to start, right? Because it was all bad from the very beginning. So it was like, oh, yes, the script is already done, because we were about 12 minutes into the game and it was really, really bad. Then just a minute later, I was like, just when you think it can't get any worse, it does. It does. So I have several points I need to make sure we try to make and get through together, right? And we only got a short period of time. We got about I don't know. We're gonna try to make it work to get through all of the content and give it in the time allotted. So, first point. Here's a point that I've been trying to make for a very long time. And it is the point that they are just not that good. We've been saying this. We've been saying the team is not that good. 7 wins. Won the division. 7. Last year. 7. But in real life, the mark of a good team is not 7 wins. It's just not. And it was all this conversation about the expectations being too high. No, maybe, just maybe, Washington football team, you thought you were better than what you are. Even though the proof was right there in front of us the whole entire time. 7 wins against teams that were dealing with major injuries. Yes, you won a division, but you won a division almost by default. So, hey, it's like, this is ridiculous. And you have to just know in the back of your mind that this team started out slow and this team is not that good to begin with. They're not that good to begin with. That was one of the things that kind of should have just helped everyone stay a bit. They only won 7 games last year, everybody. Now, true, you might have thought maybe they could at least pull out 10, but 7, hey, That's not good. It's just not the sign of a good team. And this was a team at 7 wins that didn't deal with a lot. They didn't deal with a ton of major injuries, and they definitely did not deal with COVID, which is my next point. So listen, I had some challenges at first with the depth situation. I had some challenges with that. But what I will say is this: the depth on the O-line. Remember, this team had gone through 4 centers, four centers, and was still winning after the bye. The depth at defensive end, James Smith-Williams, Casey Toohill, that definitely had some challenges there. Not challenges. They did well, but then COVID happened. And let me tell you something. People can say that's excuses all day long. It depends on your definition of an excuse. But I do believe that it's a factor, because I will tell you this. There has been 26 players on that COVID list since December the 8th. That is a few days before that December 12th game against Dallas. And I can tell you this, based on what my eyes can see, most of those players are not playing like they did previously. We can all give the example of James Smith-Williams. James Smith-Williams has asthma. Never bothered him before. He has COVID. Now, all of a sudden, each game so far, you're having issues with your asthma. Long hauler symptoms are a real thing. I think we're absolutely seeing this team dealing with that. But you couple the long hauler symptoms along with conditioning. Did everybody forget that the head athletic trainer is absolutely facing federal criminal charges? Please, I have asked people to remember this. The head athletic trainer, the Drug Enforcement Agency, ran up in Ashburn the Friday before the team went to go play the Atlanta Falcons. That's your head athletic trainer. Nobody remembers that. Nobody's talking about that. So let me tell you something. COVID long hauler symptoms are a real thing. These players out there are looking like they're moving in slow motion, and they did not look like that. They did not look like that. And people absolutely forgot the head athletic trainer. So you figure not having COVID, I'm seeing long hauler symptoms. So the conditioning has done what? Gone down the tubes, because you don't even have your head athletic trainers in the building. It matters. Conditioning matters. And being out that amount of time and having to come back and be effective, that stuff matters. And we're seeing the ball get dropped in that area. Absolutely getting dropped in that area. And I do want to share this video. I'm glad I see Damon has checked in. I'm glad I'm making sure I'm sticking to the script here. I do want to share what Ron Rivera had to say immediately after the game in terms of what's going on right now with the team.
Players not handling it well.
I just told you. We just went through a few weeks, a couple of things, bad things happening. Okay, you have to deal with those things, and it's tough. It's not easy to try and separate and compartmentalize situations like that. It spills over. It gets to people. It's human nature. These guys are more than just robots. They don't go out there. These guys have feelings. These are players. These are people. Okay, they got a teammate going through something right now that they're, it's tough. I mean, you have an opportunity and you don't have everybody playing. That's hard on people. I mean, that's not normal shit. That's real life shit. And that's what they're dealing with. These are young men. And we're just trying to help them along the way. Okay?
Listen, that sigh at the end, I felt that sigh. I said, dang, Coach Rivera is tired. He don't even know what's going on. And as Bernard has here, look, Ron started cussing. He was hot. He was tired. He was real tired, and he's just holding on to dear life, because we're also talking about, let's go back to this. We're talking about a team that did not deal with COVID at all. And now you've had last season, and now 26 players since December the 8th That's big. That's a point. It's not an excuse. It's a factor. In the fact that they don't have the right conditioning going on. National Football League is a different beast. It's a different animal. I want to continue the conversation and move on to my next point, the fight. Y'all listen. I was totally unmoved by the fight. I mean, what are we talking about here? Did you see how they were getting beat down? Sure, it's like, hey, listen. Nobody wants it to be public news what's happening up in your house. Nobody wants that to be public news of what's happening in your house. And it was quite unfortunate that it had to happen on prime time. Very unfortunate. I agree with all of that. But come on, you don't put your finger in somebody's face and expect them not to react. And oh, by the way, you've been getting just murdered out there. They were getting molly-whopped. They had just gotten molly-whopped last week. Now here they are again getting molly-whopped. Listen, somebody needed to fight. Just probably shouldn't have fought in front of everybody. And oh, by the way, I would have liked to have seen that fight toward the other team. Toward the other team for certain. That's where the fight needs to happen. It needs to happen there. But I do want to play Deron's after game presser about the fight.
Are you guys okay now?
Huh?
Are you two good now?
It's all good.
For that to happen, I mean, you guys have gone back years. Why do you think it boiled over to the point it did?
I mean, you got brothers. Y'all fight, don't it? Shit happen.
Anything like that happened before?
I mean, I got a bunch of brothers, so.
All right. Thanks, Ron.
Listen, that was it, and that was all for that. Okay, that was it, and that was all for Deron's presser. Hey, listen, he already done told you to answer your question. Has it ever happened before? He said, I got a lot of brothers. So he's letting you know, yes, we done got up into it previously. Y'all just saw it this time. My bad. Okay, it happens. It happens, you guys. Did you see how they were getting beat? Let's go ahead and move on to that. That very point there, in terms of how they were getting beat, this is what Jonathan Allen had to say. I wanted to take this piece of his after game presser because I thought it was important.
I mean, that's an excuse. That's what we're not going to do today.
Are you able to kind of separate that fully from the game, or does that affect you guys like anybody else?
I mean, it definitely affects us, but as professionals, it's our job to go out there and play good football, which for the last 2 weeks has been probably some of the worst football I've ever been a part of, including myself. So, I mean, we have no one to blame but ourselves, and, we just got to do what we got to do, starting in practice.
John, you had talked a lot about the defense.
So listen, is anybody mad yet? They ain't fighting out here. Okay? Everybody's mad. Everybody's frustrated. Ron Rivera, Coach Rivera, I know you're tired, man. I know you're exhausted, but are you mad yet? Are you mad yet? Let us take a moment to go back to, we talk about December 8th was when the COVID outbreak started. That is when it started. That's when the first player came up positive. Okay? Next day, it was a Thursday, December the 9th, I remember. Coach Mike McCarthy, the coach from Dallas Cowboys coach, he publicly says that he's going to guarantee a win on Sunday. Guaranteed a win, right? And they brought their own chairs. Oh, this was the part of the show I couldn't wait for. Let me tell you something. And hey, listen, it was really nice. I really enjoyed listening to Coach Ron Rivera's response to that and what he shared with Julie Donaldson, that he felt like it was interesting, but it wasn't important. Hey, let me tell you something. It's real bold You will bold somebody in the National Football League where everybody knows it's any given Sunday to guarantee a win in someone else's establishment. And oh, by the way, bring your own chairs. Let me tell you something. I could be old school. I could be completely old school. But hey, listen, I'm going to say what's cute for the cameras. But hey, listen, dude said they coming from up Texas and they going to beat us in our own establishment. Could you imagine somebody telling you they going to come and beat you up? They going to come to your house and beat you up. And then when they get there, you see they brought their own chair? Oh, so you're going to sit on your own chair in my house and beat me up all day? Now, listen, it's just, hey, it wasn't that bad, but it's all perspective. This is a game of mentality. When you are dealing in competition, when you are at war, that is a mental game. It's all a game. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to beat you. And then I'm going to mess with you further and bring my own seat. And then I, in fact, beat you in your establishment with my own seats. Go look at the scoreboard. That is mental. Someone right. Because the COVID outbreak hadn't happened yet. So, hey, look, I don't care what anybody says. That got into these players' head immediately. You can't let somebody say publicly that they're going to beat you hey, your chairs can stay because I can't just put your chairs out. I guess I can't do that. But what I can do is make you pay for guaranteeing a win in my establishment. The mentality been off ever since, y'all. It just hasn't been right. And I said it again. Well, hey, look, maybe I'm old school. But I think they took a piece of Washington football team's heart that day. And the Dallas Cowboys knew that defense has completely shattered Taylor Heinicke. Now, Taylor Heinicke was not already that good, and we're going to get there. We're going to get to Taylor in a moment. But my goodness, I was like, oh my gosh, he's afraid of them. They're scared. Let me tell y'all something. I said this on the show, and I gotta hurry up. But I said this on the show before they played Tampa Bay. Let me tell you something. The Washington football team, because I was there, okay? I was working that game. They had all the swag in the world. They knew it. They had the energy. They bossed all the way up. They couldn't wait. And it wasn't like Tom Brady and Coach Arians was talking a whole bunch of trash. They didn't say nothing. They giving a lot of respect. But they dogged him that day. This man done told you he gonna come and beat you, and he bringing his own chairs. Hey, listen, that right there was when they showed their card. Got you mentally. They're not there. They got shook. They got scared, and it got real out there. Yes, we know half the roster ain't there. We know, but at least act like you want to beat the person across the scrimmage line, because you've been acting like this the whole time, and now all of a sudden you're not. So that means I got to dissect everything that has happened thus far. And one of the things that's happened thus far is that Coach Mike McCarthy said his team was coming up in there and was going to beat y'all, and he brought their own chairs, and now y'all act like y'all don't know how to play football. That's what happened. Okay. Last point, Taylor Heinicke. Check out what Coach Ron Rivera had to say earlier today about Taylor.
Ron, you said that you watched the game tape. What were your thoughts on Taylor's performance?
I thought Taylor missed some opportunities. I do think he got a little bit rattled and started throwing off his back leg a couple times. He had a couple opportunities that I know that if he could have really stood tall in there, he'd have completed those. The very first throw was unfortunate because he had Terry. If he could have put that out to the sideline, I think Terry makes that play. I think that's a big play. Unfortunately, he hung it out and it stayed more to the middle. I mean, if that ball gets to the sideline, it's either a big catch for Terry or it's incomplete.
Having now watched the tape, do you have any other thoughts about possibly making a change at quarterback? And if not, why?
No, I think, again, will we play Kyle? Probably. But we're going to stick with Taylor right now. But will we play Kyle? Probably. You know, and not as an indictment of Taylor or anything like that, but just that, you know, we also want to make sure we get a really good look at Kyle.
So with Kyle, would that be a relief role, or would that possibly be starting one of these last 2 games?
We'll see. We'll see. But right now, we're going to start. We'll start Taylor against Philadelphia, and we'll see.
So we've been hearing for quite some time and know that the Washington football team has been on the search for their next quarterback. We know they have scouted several college games. There was even a rumor that during the bye, Washington football was having some discussions about trading for Mitchell Trubisky. And I've been saying on the show, Taylor heard y'all. Taylor knew what was up. He knew what was up. He knew what was going down. So he came out here playing for his life. Again, we got to dissect all of the data collected and figure out what's happening here, okay? There was definitely a rumor, okay? But now, if Coach Rivera said, oh, we're going to play, we're going to play Taylor. Oh, well, we are going to play Kyle, actually. Oh, y'all done gone in evaluation mode. Okay. Got you. Totally understand. Got you. This team is 2 things that I've been saying from the very beginning. The team needs a quarterback. All great, solid teams that go into the Super Bowl and those that win, you never have to question who the quarterback is. You know who the leader of that team is. And it doesn't matter who it is. You know the quarterback is the leader. This was always a temporary fix. And maybe that's part of the problem. Stop putting temporary fixes into positions that are created for permanent people. All the greats, they were there. Super Bowl after Super Bowl, playoff after playoff. You got to get your guy and stick with it. Stick with it. Quarterback and linebacker. Them 2 positions right there. I said, Lord, please, listen, this is where this is going to be this ain't even a CWall rant. This is a candy rant where I said straight up, when I saw the linebacker list, when I saw Jamin Davis wasn't playing, and let me be clear, the linebacker position group is not all that good anyway. But once I saw Jamin Davis was inactive, I said, oh my gosh. I started having a panic attack, and y'all know I don't do that no more. Once you're in the business, I'm like, hey, listen, anything goes around here. But once I saw there was no linebackers, I had to look at the names. Wait a minute, I know that one, but I had to go and tell all the Washington football team fans, go drink. Go drink. And if you don't drink, you should. And if you haven't started drinking yet, go get something right now, because this is going to be bad. And it was. I'm going to close the show out with saying this. This is the mark of the kind of organization this is. Beginning of the month, everybody riding high, everything going good. Then you got to go through this, go through that. And now look, Dallas completely dismantled Washington. And that is unfortunate. But there has to be somebody that says the measure of success is the Lombardi Trophy. That is it. That is all. I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of debating. I'm tired of saying we got injuries. I'm tired of saying it's whatever. Lombardi Trophy or get out of my office. what they gonna do? We gonna see. We are going to see. We're going to see. Because not only did the Eagles embarrass them last week, then Dallas came and embarrassed them. Time to make a move. And it needs to be bold, whatever it is. And it needs to be legit and solid, because that's what winning teams do. You all, we could have had this going for much longer because y'all know your girl wants to keep talking, but we do have to close out for this evening. Thank you all so much for tuning in. More to come, as always. More to watch. Is never a dull moment in DC sports, as you all know. This team, there's never a dull moment, so there's always something to talk about. Rest assured. Okay? Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys again soon.
You're not on the field, court, or ice. CWall, you're on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps.